Hello there, folks. Welcome back. This is my first book. The title is Survive. Let me come closer. Survive of the File Soldier series. This is the series, and this is the debut or the first book of that particular series, the File Soldier series. So this was published back in the year 2020. That is July 2020. And for a few minutes, I'm gonna read an extract from this one, and I hope you enjoy. And the extract will start from page 24 of the first chapter. So before I even start reading from this book, I'm gonna acknowledge two reviewers of this particular one. That is, the first reviewer is a friend of mine from Adtrim in the United Kingdom. His name is Brian Rutherford. The second reviewer is Joland Kaethia, of CEO of Ikala Movement. Joland says that this is, when you look at the back here, he says that this is a befitting 5-star written thriller with perfect choices of words, flow, and reader engagement through well-built plot and character and imagery that will leave any reader of our time salivating for more. That is his review. The first review was from Rutherford from the United Kingdom, who says, "Excellent stuff. I'm so impressed with your research. It distracts, I beg your pardon, me from the action." So thank you for those two particular reviews, and I decided today that I'm going to acknowledge these two reviewers. Thank you so much. So here we go. Page 24 of chapter 1. That is where I'm going to start. Harvard Medical School, 25 Shattuck Street, Boston, MA 02115. Whether this line should convey the secrets of a checkered existence to stimulate disclosure of events relating to my strange past or not, I hardly care a straw. I'm obliged to embrace this moment of truth as a cool and humid afternoon of the 22nd September 2009. Bolt erect and in a cheerful mood, I adjusted my gown and stalked about the Gordon Hall Student Registration Center. With me were a throng of fellow graduates who had found the genius with respect to my dissecting abilities so amusing they wouldn't help harping upon the exponent thrills of those cases of surgery we'd experienced. My excitement fever, I confirmed stupidly, and for reasons I wouldn't tell, shut me up in the tremendous league I had won against man and medicine. By the by, the stress and strains of the past few weeks were whimsical enough to be joked about in lovely medical delicacies. Yet, what psychological upheavals I suffered from breakfasting with cadavers and crashing demonic notes of anatomy against the window to my apartment in the wee hours is not to be graced with any significant illustration of joy. But by any exercise of ingenuity, that was the kind of obvious amusement I wouldn't stomach. I suspended my excitement in the noisome claim of how I was, after all, fished out of the Atlantic Ocean from a plane wreck 9 years ago. I ventured to mention a Dr. Vivian Insidor, who had remoulded my skull thereafter, remembering very little of the state of emergency on that fateful day, what I begged no excuse for calling unpleasant and miserable, for death and whispered upon my ears. Upon the eve of graduation, I grabbed the M2 Cambridge Harvard shuttle to Vanderbilt Hall on 107 Avenue, Louis Pasteur. My roommate, his name was Daniel, an ill-tempered, clumsy fellow from Texas, was already gone, taking my newest pair of underwear with him. If I had begun with an appetite for beer, Mr. Daniel, who was borderline schizophrenic and a cross-dresser, with a penchant for wearing bow ties, would have messed it up. In quietude, my other roommate, who was Dr. James Block, a terrible womanizer from Detroit, quickly packed up his bags to alarming capacities. Nettled, I sat gazing out the window. My eyes stung my girlfriend, Julia in German, in English it is Julia, as well, appeared to have been staring in my direction within hail distance inside our apartment at the second floor of the women's campus across the parking yard. I sprang to my feet, spun around and began packing my internship situation at Johns Hopkins guaranteed. Then in his usual paroxysm of haste, my buddy, Dr. David Kessler, who I had diagnosed with a rare case of kleptomania, stormed into the room. He said hi, tossed me a khaki envelope and left in a hocus-pocus rehearsal of some med stuff that passed my ear without inquiry. I grabbed it and tore it up in stolid silence. Drawing out the white piece, that is the letter inside the khaki envelope, I withdrew a few paces and jolted my back upon the window sill. A quick eye pursued over its contents. Scanning over the opening remarks, I hardly understood the first paragraph, but then the salutation and the body of this letter were far from what I had expected. So the letter comes in a few moments. Now, for those who would like to know, Harvard Medical School is in the United States of America and precisely on 25 Shattuck Street in the city of Boston. All right, so I got the khaki envelope, tore it up and removed the letter from the envelope. And these are the contents of that letter. Dear Sir, I write in good faith to observe my final wishes. Chakpuli is my name, your dad of the past, of the present, and of the future. In medical terms, you would say, without whom you wouldn't have had half of your chromosomes. In my hospital bed at San Juan Park Hospital, sorry about that, Ward 5, Johannesburg, South Africa, I have heard from the media about your scholarship to Harvard. The newspaper clip with the news of the impossible surgery of the Mays twins of South Africa, for whom you put your career on the edge to save, bears me company. As I toss and turn about my bed, the panic in my doctor's eye betakes a bleak near future to which I spare no detail. The tumor in my brain throbs painfully. The clock still ticks, reminding me not for the first time this world is not anymore my home. Don't get me wrong. Pray, let's bury the hatchet. That way, it's healthy, even healthier for undying further. But telling you this, I cannot help. Remember, when a leaf falls from the family tree, it always finds its way back. Your name was not Motsirum. Read the 2 and towards front. Like so, you will have Tom Morris. Find your elder sister Peggy. You will know why. I hear you have a different name altogether these days. John Taylor or something. That's quite a name. Now you know the truth, but whether that sets you free, I'll leave it at that, for I can hardly breathe. Dr. John Taylor or Dr. Tom Morris, you decide. You've the freedom to choose. Let me go, for my hands are frail and my eyes are misty. I can't speak, I can't think, I can't kick, not anymore. The secrets that darken the roads you travel and are a joint conspiracy maliciously addressed to Chan Li's private ear. The STM, that is the Shrine Tango movement, for those who have been here for quite a while, the Russian Brotherhood, and the Gush Emunim are party to the X-Files chain, for which the objects of the conspiracy to destroy the United States of America, Israel, and Ukraine have been drawn. In this delightful communication, I sign myself Chakpu Lee, your loving father. So that marks the end of my today's vlog. Signing out up until the next episode of Survive. Goodbye, and for my German friends, as usual, auf Wiedersehen.